we are going to introduce ourselves. If we do it in the order of Choice, Pinzo, Efsixx, and then myself, we'll go over that, and then we'll get right into this great episode we have for you guys.
Okay, hey, what's up, guys? I'm ChoicePlays. I do stuff for PCC or Prime Championship Circuit. I am absolutely a guy who likes doing streams. That's it. That's all I got. That's all I got for me.
That works.
All right, yeah, what up? I'm Pinzo, streamer and YouTuber for I play Pred. I'm kind of cracked. That's about it.
Kind of cracked. Good to hear. Good to hear. All right. All right. Efsixx.
Well, my name is Efsixx. I stream over on Twitch and Kick. I make some YouTube videos as well, but I also do some casting for the PCC with Choice. It's a great time, so it's fun over there. Other than that, just enjoy the game. Just enjoy being around.
All right. And for myself, I am the Beetle Wolverine, your Michigan Wonder. Excited to get this episode here for you guys. Windu is not able to make it here today. We have stuff going on, but no big deal. We'll carry the show for him. I do love how two of us are wearing headbands and two of us are wearing hats. It was not planned that way. It definitely seems like we choreographed it. But I mean, I love that we're all able to have the same glasses on. So that's perfect.
That's good.
You guys look great.
Yes.
That's what's important, honestly.
I just love that Zoom put in a Pinzo filter. It was perfect. I got it.
Yeah. All for you.
So
How they're over Efsixx's glasses.
right?
Well, I only have one pair of glasses on. What do you mean?
What do you
sorry.
mean? What do you mean? Yeah. All right, guys. So let's start with the news of Nibori. Sorry, that was a complete accident. Holy cow. Nibori leaving Omeda. He made the Twitter post just recently that he's stepping away as the community manager and going on different endeavors. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Pinzo?
Yeah, I mean, I really like Nibori. He was always there when we did content creators, when we got access to heroes early and stuff like that. He was always there to play in those games. Outside of that, I interacted with him in the creator Discord and that kind of stuff. But I quite liked him. I go into his streams and stuff like that. I quite liked him. So it's kind of sad to see him go. I know he really liked the game, but I guess we'll see. What else is coming.
Sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Efsixx? Any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, he was definitely the initial face of the game, right? So kind of having that person leave after a little while, right? Kind of just okay, not only is it just okay, that person left, but okay, why is it changing, right? So it kind of stirs up some questions, but I'm sure it's a mutual thing. I wish him the best on everything that he's getting ready to do. I know he's enjoying the Philippines, see him in the water a lot, so so that's good for him. So definitely be looking for the future of Predecessor with who's going to come on next to really be the forefront of the community, to see how that goes as well.
I think we already have it. I think we already have it. I think that's also the part of the reason why Nibori's gone. Again, me not throwing any shade because I don't know what he did behind the scenes, and I know he did a lot. Obviously, we did see the post. He made the Zarus voice, Zarus voice, a voiceover, and did a great job. But he did some things in the community as a community manager. But once Carrie came in, she kind of took it and ran. And I felt like she became the community manager, and that was her job from there, and he did some things here and there, made some Twitter posts, with showing some highlights here and there, whatever, some things. But I feel like she kind of just took it and ran with it. And I feel like she stepped in, and it kind of gave the opening for him to step away. Choice, what are your thoughts?
Well, it kind of feels if you look at the timeline, him moving over to the Philippines and really starting a lot of really cool adventures that he's just posting all the time about these rad adventures. He's doing Taekwondo, I think. He's doing a lot of diving expeditions and stuff like that. So homie's living his best life right now. He's got headshot and everything. So, good luck to him. Everything seems to be golden on his side, but I think it makes sense that, you know, he moved over to the Philippines. Kari really started taking over, and then, you know, rumblings of another community manager or something of that sort, you know, being hired on to the Omeda team. Hopefully, you know, like we're going to continue to see a little bit more of an uptick as like the UI starts to really start to pop off and come out. I'm really excited to see what they do in terms of marketing alongside, you know, the new marketing manager that they've got. So that's going to be really cool. And I am really stoked to see what we're going to see going forward with Predecessor.
For sure. And it reminds me, I need to get a hold of somebody in there that can get me in touch with their marketing manager, because I want to get them on the show here. I think that would be a great interview with that person and get kind of get things going there, because I think as soon as they announced that they had a marketing manager, and even just before they said that, like, you saw there was an uptick in things that were just being posted more often. You know, getting the journal, the little dev journal that we've been getting, the monthly journal and stuff like that. Like, that kind of came in around the time that we got a marketing manager and stuff like that. So it's almost like they kind of have been dipping their toes in here for sure. So I would be excited to talk to that person whenever we can get them on. But no, I think, again, I wish Nibori well with his future endeavors, and happy to hear that he's doing great over the Philippines, stuff like that. But yeah, from what Efsixx said, I think we do already have the face. I think Carrie is the face. I think if you go into the Discord, it's like the Predecessor Discord, it's like the People's Champ or something like that, or something like that. So, and we'll get her on here to as a guest on here as well. We've already kind of talked to her into it. We just got to get it scheduled to figure that out. And I forgot to make this announcement, and I'm sorry for doing that, but I heard the guest is in my head. Pinzo is not a guest. Pinzo is now a full-time co-host. So thanks a lot for coming on and getting here, Pinzo. I appreciate you, and we are excited to have you on here for that. You got some big shoes to fill, though. You got Joey shoes, you know, like.
Yeah.
I know, right? Joey. It's like, it is definitely a tough spot to fill, but glad to be able to kind of balance out the skill level of the Predcast a little bit, you know. Now we've got a full 5 men we can run and win some games.
There we go. So, all right. So with that though, let's talk about Zarus. What are your guys' thoughts on Zarus? We've had plenty of time to play with him now. And where is your favorite spot to play him? I know some people are loving to play him in jungle. So what are your thoughts? A choice. I know you don't get to play much with him because you're busy doing PCC. So I'll go with you first and let you jump in and say what you can if you have any chance play with him or not.
Zera's cool. Zera's fun. Lizard. That's all I got.
There we go. All right, that works.
So you played Hero Lizard games or what?
I played him once.
All right.
In an AI match, and that's it.
There we go. Hey,
Nice.
That's how I was for
Honestly,
that event we had.
An AI than gamble player queues, honestly.
You think so? What do you mean gamble player queues?
They feel like a gamble. It's 50-50. It's flipping a coin, you know.
Oh, you meant like so you're talking about matchmaking side, not picking Zarus. Gotcha.
Well, both. I mean, like on patch day at least. Yeah.
Patch day for sure.
You know?
Patch day for sure. Yeah. But like I guarantee you get him every time now. Like there's I don't have any issues.
I see. It seems like he's kind of fallen off a little bit. Like people don't want to play him as much.
I agree with that too.
A ton of games with no Zaruses on like either teams.
Yep. There's a lot of times I'm not going against a Zarus. Like I figured I would for that first week and a half I would have like saw Zarus every match, and it wasn't like that. He fell off pretty quick, actually. From what I was saying, I wanted to bring that up. So good point.
I think it's mostly because a lot of people realized he's not an easy character to play. Much less like everybody's like, oh, he has a lock on ult, he's going to be easy. But that's the easy part of his kit, right? Like everything else in between that, before you even ult or even have your ult, is ridiculously at like a higher level of gameplay to really understand. So I think they realize that, and they just turn to like the face of like, oh, this player's or this hero's bad, right? But they're like not really understanding the kit. So I think that's really like one of the biggest things for is like they just can't play him. Like they just can't at this point.
Well, I think that also them not understanding that he is a scaling hero. Hence, a dragon lizard, scales. And so with him being a scaling hero, it's not going to be, you're not going to be instantly taken off right away. You have to build your way to it. And I think that buildup is fine, especially with his passive. His passive allows that slow buildup to be a little more sustainable. And I love him. I love playing as him. Like I had a game. I was just telling the guys before we started up. I had a game last night. It sucks. It was like we ended up losing the game, but I went 17-4-4 with him. And I'm like, this is what I want. Like, let's go. And I was going ham. I got a quadra kill, and I was shutting people down, and I loved it. And that's what I think he can do if you're able to play him correctly. But I don't do that every game with him, and I play him all the time. So like you guys were saying, the skill to get used to him is definitely, it takes a lot there. But I've seen people commenting about how he needs to get a nerf. He's too strong or whatever. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I'm watching people not even play this guy. Like usually the new characters when they're OP, like nope, we're just gonna keep on playing him until we force them to nerf him. And it's like that. You people aren't doing that here. Like I don't feel like I feel like the people that are saying that are just reading the kit and they're not actually playing him. Like when you read the kit, you look at he's got a stun, he's got a lock on all, he's got a 6-second cage, a Decker cage, people want to call it. He's got all this stuff. He's got he can escape. He's got all this stuff that it sounds amazing, but like the cooldown on the escape was at 13 seconds or something. Like you use it once, like you're waiting, like you can't, you're not getting away, and the cooldown on the stun's like 12 seconds too, or something like that. So once you use it, it's there, and for you to actually maximize that stun, you literally got to sit there and hold it and wait and hope that person doesn't get away from you, so you can get be in the range to actually make the shield bash happen. To maximize it, and that's actually a good feeling, when you're able to finally get a full shield bash and you watch that health drop down a little bit, like that feels good.
That's one of the harder hitting basic abilities in the entire game if you let it charge.
Yep.
Like that thing really takes a squishy out of the map. Like, don't even play here anymore. Like it's ridiculous. But it's like one of those things, right? Like you could either decide to hold the charge and miss your opportunity to stun, or you can get it off quick but not do as much damage. So like I said,
if you're trying to lock them down, if you want to lock them down to get another RMB in there, to make sure you secure the RMB, you could definitely, knock up quick. I try to allow it to charge as much as I can. What I try to do is because the one thing, it's incremental. It's not like you hit it and then if you hit anywhere between the full charge, you only do the minimum damage. It's actually if you charge it up halfway, you're going to get 150% damage. Increased damage to it instead of the 200%. But if you charge it all the way, you get the 200%. So it's really cool that you kind of it's skill based. I like that little skill that they add to it. Like you gotta be able to get that. But that's a hard skill to hit. Once people learn that you see that he's got a shield up, all right, stay back. It's the same thing as Gruxalt. When you see Gruxalt, all right, I'll just play back now. I'll wait until your ult's done. All right, now I can come back and I can engage. People are going to learn that with Zarus, and you see that shield drop, they're not going to stay there and take that 200% damage. Like, they're going to nope, I got to get out of the way from this.
One of my favorite clips from Zarus so far is seeing people, hit their shield bash, whatever, and then dash in, or even I think blink in works as well. So getting that perfect engage where you get the full 200% scale, or not scaling, but the 200% damage on the Q, right? Is it a Q? Yeah. I totally know this champ. I really do. But seeing people dash in and get it perfectly done and do some work in the mid lane or something like that. Some of the junglers that have been picking up Zarus a lot have been really kind of locking down that. It feels nice even just watching it. So I can't imagine actually playing and hitting that perfect combo off. Spicy, beautiful.
Yes. Yeah, I've been doing that. I'm not using my flash to get in there, but I've been using my E, so I pop Q first, let it charge up a little bit. It's like holding the grenade. They're pulling the pin on the grenade and you're letting it cook a little bit and then you throw it. It's similar to doing that. You pop the Q, you let the Q cook a little bit, and then you dash in with your E, and then you get that full charge 200 on there. Definitely a great play. Another one I've been loving to do, and I've done it twice now, and Windu showed it to me in the AI matches, is his dash in solo lane, that ledge going down to the cyan buff. you can actually jump out and then dash over and cross over. So it looks like you're jumping down, but you actually did. And I've escaped twice now. I've been able to do it twice. Like dash over around that corner, that little pillar that's there, and people then everybody drops down, and I just escape back into the jungle and get away. It's pretty fun. Little crisp play there.
With all the tips and tricks.
I've been playing him a lot, man. I've gotten a lot of games in with him. I've only played three nights a week, so I've been getting a lot of games in with him. But yeah, no, I love him, and I think he's gonna get some balance with the next patch, but I don't think it's gonna be like a chunky nerf or whatever that some people are asking
what do you
for.
think they're gonna do to him? Because I know what I would do to him on the next balance patch, but I was just curious.
It's, if anything, it's his scaling. Like, his scaling is ridiculous. Like, for all his abilities, like there's no reason for that man to scale that high in every single ability. But honestly, I don't think there's anything else really to scale as much. Maybe his ult, maybe the time frame on it. But other than scaling, I think that's really the big part of it.
So I could the numbies, as Pinzo would say.
Yeah,
the numbies.
I could see them.
That's what I would say.
I could see them nerfing his R&B cooldown. That half, you know, when you instead of throwing it and you just do the lunge with it, and getting half of the cooldown on it, I can see that cooldown being increased a little bit because you can spam that pretty well. I don't want him to do that. I'm not trying to give him that idea. So Omeda, if you're listening, don't just scratch what you heard from me. But I could see that being something that they change because you can spam that pretty often. And it is, I mean, it's either you change that maybe instead of changing that cooldown, changing the mana cost to it, because it is a pretty low cost ability to use that you can use quite often. So one of those two things I could see being changed. But I do see people saying that they think that his ultimate, the cooldown needs to be decreased. Like you're not able to use it as often. They want to use it more often.
No.
Those are people who are like building full tank and have no haste. And they're sitting on 150-second cooldown for the first 12 minutes of the game. The people that are mad about that.
Those are the people, right? I didn't agree with it. I actually really think, and Smokey said this himself on the last week's episode, he feels that he's pretty well balanced. And I actually feel that way. Like I've had games that I've just been, when I went up against somebody, they've had my number and I couldn't do it. There's nothing I could do. But I've also had games that were good back and forth. I've had games where I won the lane, and you know you can't do anything with it against me. You know, it just depends. And to me, it's a pretty well balanced hero. I don't see much changing. I could see those things that I said being changed.
Yeah, I think he's very strong. Like I would put him into like A+ or S tier in the off lane. I think he's very, very good. I think that some of the things that need fixed on him are more quality of life than anything, but like his auto attacks, I don't know if you've noticed, Windu, like the auto attacks are like desynced from the damage. Like the damage comes out before the auto attack like lands on the character. So it's a little desynced. It makes it feel a little weird to last hit. The Q hitbox is horrible. It's absolutely atrocious. It's like he does this like swipe in front of him and it just doesn't do that. It all comes out at once. So if you're like trying to flick as someone, like as you're hitting with the Q, it'll miss every time. So they like, there's some things that I think need fixed on him. The only like balance truly thing that I think is actually OP on him is a passive late game. I think it's a little ridiculous that you can heal 25% of your HP back just for getting out of combat, and you can do that off of a jungle camp. Yeah, but, that's the only part of his kit that I think is like actually broken. The rest of his kit is like, I think it's skill dependent, but that part is definitely like I would say needs a numby tune down.
It is pretty strong. It is pretty strong for sure. The healing off of that.
Your HP per stack for 8 stacks, you can do it off of jungle camps. I just think it's crazy.
Who's sitting there just like healing off a jungle camp off like a big fight? I mean, I feel like that's like
but Efsixx, here's the situation. You siege and inhib, maybe you don't get it, maybe you do, it doesn't matter. Enemy teams respawns are coming in, you're leaving, you're at half health, you go take their 2 camp, and then coming off their 2 camp, now you're full health. And now if they're trying to chase you, now you're full health.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's very like situational. I don't think it's something that's like always a problem. I feel like
I just think you never have to base on that character. Like that's the thing. Late game, you just don't have to crack base.
You have to base. Just sit there, don't spend your gold. I mean, I understand where like the aspect of it. It is kind of his regen is kind of broken late game. But I feel like it's not a big of a problem if you're actually at like a higher level of gameplay and like your team is playing better with it. Because I don't see him in like scrims going off and like regenning a whole bunch, right? Because the play style is a little bit different. But definitely in like the casual scene, if they're trying to balance it off of that, it definitely needs a nerf. But I think the Q is fine. I think the Q is meant to be harder to hit, because it's just a free stun, right? You're able to dash into somebody and stun them, and you can't do that with like a steal. So I feel like they have to put a limitation on there. I don't think it's clunky. It took me a while to get used to, but I think it's more of like you just have to like get like a timing for it.
I'll send you some clips, Efsixx.
Me?
Choice, you brought up something I want to talk about there.
The hitbox is.
You brought up something I want to talk about there, Choice. I see what you got on there, but I also want to, before he goes away, I want to talk about it. Windu says Richter silence doesn't interrupt shield holding.
Nothing
I think it should. So
nothing interrupts it. You can stun while you're stunned on that character.
You can
what?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can stun people while you're stunned on that character. Nothing interrupts his Q. So you can get stunned while using the Q. You are not CC immune, but if the duration of the Q expires while you are stunned, you will still slap in front of you and stun anyone in front of you.
Okay. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Do you guys agree with Windu? You think that a silence or a stun should stop that from happening?
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm okay with it because that's a normal situation, but
I think that the one like thing that you might be able to do to it is like if you get silenced, maybe it doesn't cancel cancel the ability. You still maybe you just lose the ability to slap with it. You like maybe they keep it so that if you get silenced, you maintain the damage reduction. Mm-hmm. But I don't think you should be able to stun people while you're stunned. I think that's a little broken.
Right. It is. No, I agree with that. That makes me think of something. So I'm gonna go off track here real quick. If you kill a Mori while her alt's going off, her alt doesn't do damage, right? It kind of just disappears as she dies. All right, so then should that not be the same with a Shinbi? If a Shinbi alt goes off and you kill her, then her wolves should just disappear, right? Isn't
really like a channeled ult in this game. It's more of like press a button and it begins, and then it has a really long startup animation. Is more of like the difference. Like Mori ult is a full channel, you know? Does that make sense?
No, I'm just being honest. I don't.
So think of like Rev Q. If you stun Rev Q right when he starts it, sometimes like you can get it to where he only shoots out one little orb thing.
Okay.
Because it's a channeled ability. It takes time for the full ability to happen. Whereas Shinbi, you can't stun her out of her ultimate. If she presses R, it goes off. But then like Morigesh, it's a channeled ability, right? If you stun her mid ult, it doesn't go off. So it's like because the damage doesn't happen till the end. Versus like trying to think of another example. I mean, like even like Shinbi's Q, right? It's not like a channeled ability. She just presses Q and it happens.
Okay.
You're not gonna like stun her out of it. There's no startup frames.
Got you.
It's just like instant versus like going through an animation, essentially. So Shinbi just is one of those characters that
I do think that Shinbi's ult should stop. I do think it should stop if she dies.
That's right. So because it happened, I was going against Shinbi offlane with Zarus. My jungler came over, we ganked, we killed her, and she ulted as we were killing her. And then she died, and then I just had wolves just continue to fall on me as she was gone. Again, the wolves fell on. I'm like, why am I taking damage still like that? I felt like I shouldn't have died. I ended up dying anyways because I got Murdoch sniped. But if I didn't take the damage from her ultimate, the Murdoch snipe wouldn't have killed me. But like, so it's like I just feel like that. I feel like once I killed her, that should have like you can't deal the damage to me. It's different than I think her using her ultimate is different than like a burn or a bleed from like Grux's double pain. Like if you kill me after I double pained you and you end up bleeding out, that's because that's just how that ability works. I think the Shinbi ultimate, like if you kill her, then the wolf should just disappear like a Mori ultimate.
So think of Shinbi's ult as Sevarog's subjugate. If you were to kill a Sevarog, once he pops his subjugate onto the floor, the actual animation and instance already happened in the game. So he could still technically kill you with his subjugate after you kill him. So it's the same thing with Shinbi. It's the same like idea behind the ult. As in with Morgesh, she's trying to channel something to kill you. And by the time, if you stop her from that actual thing killing you, then you're good to go. Well, Shinbi is literally just throwing her ability up. The ability is already there, getting ready to already channel. And what happens is you kill her, but the channeling is already happening and it's an autonomous thing and it just goes through.
Gotcha.
Morgesh is not autonomous.
All right. All right. So back to what Choice was saying in chat, because chat, we were talking about Zarus' passive, and Choice brought it up, and I was going to bring it up myself. Another thing about his passive, and I think could be adjusted, is how quick. It can't be adjusted because it's stacks. It's when his stacks get eaten, or maybe his stacks fall off faster or something. But like tainted items don't affect his passive because by the time tainted items, the 3 seconds or 4 seconds. His stacks haven't fell off yet. So then that 40% decrease isn't there anymore because the 3 seconds or 4 seconds of the tainted that was applied to him is gone by the time the stacks fell off. So he's getting full health. So like going against another Zarus off lane, it's like there's no point of building tainted to go against him because his healing doesn't get changed by that.
So there's it's not essentially you're stopping his healing, but essentially what you can do is you can interrupt it. So by restarting the stacks. So if Zarus is like healing again, if you go damage him, that whole entire process starts all over again. So he's not able to actually channel his second half of the passive. So he's not necessarily going to be able to heal. So if you're continuously doing damage within like a certain period of time, it's not that you need anti-heal for him. It's more of like you need to have sustained damage on him. That's why like Omega Cosm's good on him because you're just like continues taking him. He's unable to regen. A lot of times that's how I'm able to counter another Zarus is by understanding like, hey, I have like 3 or 4 seconds. I just need to hit him with like an auto attack or something, or just poke at him. So I think it's fairly balanced in that way because it takes so long for him to actually start regenerating his stacks. He has to kind of like be out of combat for a while.
Okay. It makes sense, but I also feel like when you get into a good trade, like, and you guys like at a point like you both had to escape because if you continue to fight, one more R&B and he kills you, right? Because the R&B does like after you're 20% low, like it does extra damage or whatever. So you don't want to engage just like, all right, I got to slow down his healing or whatever. Like, and that's a bad situation. So I don't know. It just feels like it. I get what you're saying with the Megacosm or something like that, and like what Joe yours truly saying in chat. Grux, getting that double pain to do some more damage to him while he's healing, so that it kind of like negates the healing that he's getting off of his stacks going up. But I feel like his passive counters tainted really well. I feel.
I think that like yes, it does, but at the same time, I think that I'll take that end of the spectrum versus his passive working with Draconum. I think that I would rather have him not be able to have his passive affected by Tainted, but also not be able to have his passive affected by Draconum. Because if you could have Draconum active while healing from your passive, it'd be late game, you'd be healing 250 health per stack. I mean,
okay.
It would be nuts. I think that I'll take the no anti-heal for also the no heal boost, right? Void Helms are only option, but it's a pretty bad item on him.
Why is Void Helm a bad item on him?
He only has 1 stun. So he just doesn't proc the passive very efficiently. It's a long cooldown stun.
Okay.
So he just doesn't proc it very efficiently. Like, it's not horrible.
Right.
Like, most of the time, it's just not, like, you either want Crystalline or Unbroken Will on that character, I think.
Unbroken Will is pretty quick on him.
All right.
Unbroken Will is a sleeper item. People still don't know that item's OP.
Who sleeps on that?
More people than you think.
Like, beta is all you need to build against a steal. You're chilling.
Right. So I do just recently Predecessor posted our second original hero has been out for a little while now, so we got to ask, how are you finding Zarus? And the first comment I read, and I don't know if it's still the first one up here, I'm gonna go back and it's not the first one now.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
The first one I read,
Pinzo's
I can't think.
comment?
No, it wasn't Pinzo's comment. I can't find it now. Of course, there's somebody
10 minutes ago, Choice.
Yeah,
I know, it's so good.
I can't. I'll have to paraphrase it because I can't find it now. But it was. It says in the hero selection at the very bottom left. I was like, yeah, that's it. That's where you find him. That's how you find Zarus. I was like, good dad joke. I love it. That was a good one. But yeah. So anybody in chat, what are your guys' thoughts on Zarus? And I will read Jamin's here. It says, I love his kit and look. I think something maybe up with the animations, things like auto attacks, shield bash, and spear throw seems slower or not as fluid as other heroes' abilities. So that kind of goes off of what Pinzo was saying with the things being desynced or whatever. So okay. Oh, and then Pinzo. So Pinzo, you do. I'm seeing yours. Yes, you find him there as well. Yep, you had the same dad joke. I love it. Love to see it. Love to see it. All right. But I think that was pretty much it when we look at Predecessor's post.
Zarus is boring, Dave.
Oh,
what do you mean?
They did say they'd also posted, if you're enjoying Predecessor, why not head over to Steam and drop us a review? And that image they dropped there with that,
yeah,
amazing,
pretty prime. Yeah,
I love that image, dude. The art team that Omeda's got right now, they've been putting out these images they've been posting. Well, I think that goes back as far as like the Greystone and Twin Blast and these when they're doing the hero releases and stuff like that. These images they're dropping are fucking fire. Great job. So shout out to them for sure. I think that's pretty much it. The video, if you guys haven't seen it already, the video of Nibori doing the Zarus voiceover, great video. I want to see more of those. So anybody from Omeda watching, it doesn't have to be voiceovers, but things like this, the little videos to kind of show how things are done, it'd be great.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah, little behind scenes clips, how you're going to like showing the build, like the mesh of the next hero or something like that, how you're making the mesh work with the next, the next hero and how that's getting to work. Stuff like that, like little things. And it doesn't have to be completely spoiling the next hero. We don't need to see the whole hero. Just show us like little things, little zoomed in pictures. Just kind of that'll, one, bring hype, and two, it'll just give you a little more like, let us see behind the scenes. Like it's kind of like bring us in your home. Like, here you go, come on in. Let's show you some things. Little videos like this are perfect. Great job. And that's pretty much it for what we got for Predecessor's Twitter post. Again, they're being active again, so we'd love to see that. Keep that up. So speaking about being active, didn't we have something? What was that, last week? We had something last week. Choice, when was that? What did you got going on recently?
Something last week. I don't know. Something a little something called the PCC Prime Championship Circuit. A little tournament that me and the boy Efsixx are part of. As well as Pinzo, technically. Pinzo is
different
competing.
sides.
Yeah. Just
more involved than I am, Pinzo. More involved than I am. So, yes.
I know. You missed the stream, man.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
My apologies.
Dude.
I know. Your boy Efsixx casting and everything, and you missed it. But
I still support him.
Important. Family's important. But yeah, this last Saturday, we had our seeding round broadcasted live on our Twitch channel. And it went pretty well, besides the whole start of the stream. Being a producer, everything breaks day of. It's just the life of being a producer and running broadcasts. Yeah. OBS just loves to slap me around a little bit for no reason at all. But we had a lot of fun. It was a really good one. Once we actually got the stream started and rolling, we really cranked the oh my God, the game's out, the match is out. Jesus. OBS is affecting my brain, guys. It's like in there, and like its stutters are starting to get into my brain. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. The teams were killing it, and we actually have like a very, very competitive roster of teams. Especially in this Elite 8 that we now have fully seeded into our main event, which is going to be September 2nd and 3rd. And it's going to be a banger. Pinzo's team popping off. I talked about it on our little group stage recap stream. But the teams they're really picking up their game, and it really feels good. So I'm excited. Efsixx has been cooking. I call him Chef Six a lot recently because he's been cooking in our Discord recently, just watching the VODs, getting better every single day at his casting. And like our analysts desks are like, they're all jumping in and like being a part of it. So feels really cool. But other than that, like I wanted to throw it over to like Efsixx. Efsixx, how did you feel about like the broadcast and everything that we saw pertaining to like the teams playing?
Honestly, the broadcast keeps getting better every time, Choice. I can tell you that all the time. It just looks fantastic. All the great visuals are coming in from Hot Sauce as well, and just our mods just being able to just like facilitate everything and just make sure everything is just running smoothly. Just from the last PCC, it was just fantastic, and just being able to cast and your guys observing with the replay system. Shout out to Omeda, by the way, for updating the replay system, because before that, oh man, trying to cast off of that old replay system, you were looking at things like, man, there's like 60 minion waves. Is that the real one or is that the fake one? So being able to just have that there and make sure like the right teams on the right side was just great to finally see that happening. So hoping that keeps getting better, and just the vibe of just like the community itself was just great. I think there's a bunch of, somebody called me Luigi because I curled my mustache up. I was like, come on, guys. But I wasn't able to see it because I was casting, but they told me about it, but that was funny. But yeah, the community engagement was great. I like the players because we are on a little bit of a delay, especially like when we had to like, said OBS breaks down, right, Choice? We're a little bit behind. And they were just, the players were great by just being like, hey, we know we're a little bit delayed. We're not going to be like saying who won, who lost, because, we don't like spoilers, right? We want everything to be live. There's some people that don't actually get to watch all the games like all the time and all the streams. So they're just being great players, just being in this there and just not telling anything. And then the comp is just increasing with the amount of like good players. It actually shocked me. There's a lot of surprises on like, we did in the, was the roundup, we were talking about who's going to actually win in these group stages. I was like, you guys actually shocked me. I didn't think there was actually some teams that were going to pull through, and there's just some great matches. So I can't wait for the second and third to see like these very close matches, see who really gets to put it on the show.
That's awesome. That last time you guys you guys had something going on, you guys dropped the video. It's a 1.5-minute video, and we played it here on the Predcast. And seeing that video and just seeing the quality that you guys are able to put out is definitely great to see. And I'm excited to see you guys grow along with Predecessor and go from there, because I mean, as long as Predecessor is able to get as far as we want to go, you guys can then be what is that was Owl, right? Overwatch League or whatever. You guys can be up there and with that quality, as long as you guys are improving with them and going from there. So I'm excited to see you guys do that for sure. Pinzo, from the gamer side of it, what are your thoughts of PCC and how you being an actual somebody on the actual competing side and how they run the tournament?
Yeah, I mean, it was run pretty smoothly. Like, there was nothing. We basically woke up and then we had a team from our group drop, which was unfortunate, but we actually got the really good schedule where our game against the drop team was at the end. So we still just had 4 group games in a row, and then we were done. It was super easy. It was just like, oh, whenever, the other 2 teams are done, now we can switch partners, go again. Like, that was super easy. And then for the seeding round, like, we had a good schedule. It was stuck to like pretty well, all things considered. So, I mean, it was like, hey, you're going to play at this time against this team. If you win, you'll play this time. If you lose, you'll play this time. Like it was pretty straightforward. So pretty easy from our side.
Do you go back and watch the event after you guys are done playing?
Yeah, generally speaking, yeah.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts as
games? I watch games.
So when you went back and watched your games and Efsixx cast and all these stuff going on, what are your thoughts on their production?
Oh no, it looks great. Yeah, they do a really good job on the stream. Like the casting's good. The spectator is good. It all looks really good. Like I'm kind of surprised, to be honest.
All right. And I mean, it's only going to get better too. With like Efsixx, you already alluded to Omeda doing improvements, but this isn't going to be their final form of their replay system. Replay system is going to get just even better and smoother, and it's going to make Choice's job even easier. They might even he might not even have a job anymore. It'd be like it's like self checkout. Like, so our replay system will do it for you, and then Choice like, what do I do? It might be that good. We'll see. But speaking of losing somebody, did you guys lose Joey as well? I mean, we lost Joey because he's now with Omeda. Is he working with you guys still, or is he now left as well?
Yeah, he's still with us. He's still going to be on the analyst desk for the first half of both the second and the third. So we get to see more Joey breakdowns of all the crazy plays going on, and just hear the big brainness of Joey himself on the PCC analyst desk. I mean, he's incredible. Like, let's be honest. And honestly, all of our on-screen talent is incredible. Like, shout out Rdog, Efsixx, Lance, like all of our on-screen talent. We're pretty lucky. I'm not going to lie. We're pretty lucky.
That's good to hear. And you said big brain. It makes me think of the cartoon. Was it Megamind? Is that who it was? I think Joey needs a Megamind skin. How do we get Joey a Megamind skin? Can we make that happen? That would be great.
So like, there's times where like, because obviously we have a pairing whenever we cast. There's a lot of time when the desk is like kind of like doing the analyst. We're just kind of like talking about stuff like what we see from the draft. So like we're not able to hear everything, but like when we just talking about doing like VOD reviews, going back to see where we can improve, and just listen to Joey and like what he has to say, and then like everything he has to say literally just happens in the game. Is just absolutely bonkers. And it's like, Joey, you got to stop predicting the future, man. You just gotta stop.
Right? No, the guy's fucking great when it comes to that. No, that's good to hear. I'm telling you, it will happen. I will watch an event here eventually. Again, everybody just knows the weekends for me is just time for the family. So it's hard for me just to sit like, hey guys, I know I've been gaming and playing Predecessor the whole time. I'm just now going to sit here and watch other people play Predecessor and not spend time with you guys. So that's just kind of where I'm at, but it'll happen because I'm excited. Hearing you guys talk about it and watching that highlight reel you guys put together for PCC, it definitely got me. So watching that, I'm like, damn, that when Jolster sent that to me, it's like, here, play this for us. I'm like, all about it. I watched it. I'm like, this is really fucking good. So I was impressed. You guys are doing a great job, and I know you guys just keep improving.
Big old TDM for that one.
Team deathmatch. What's TDM? Who is that? Somebody I don't know. Like we haven't talked to it. I got.
He is locked in a dungeon with Choice whenever everything's going on.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Behind the scenes.
There you go.
TDM is pretty much Choice's right-hand man, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he does the video editing, like when it comes to like the hype and the highlight videos, and even like some of the intro videos as well. Actually, all the intro videos. I do all of the broadcast stuff and just like VOD editing, which is easy. He does all the hard stuff and the pretty stuff. So shout out to TDM, as well as being like our remote observer too. He's the one who's in the replay system, actually showing the camera now. He took that off my hands, thank God, because I already have enough things that are pulling on my brain, like during a broadcast, that like just having that and being able to be like, I get about 30 minutes of kind of like chilling. It's not even real chill. It's like kind of chilling because I'm still like changing a bunch of stuff in the background.
Right.
But shout out TDM, man. That guy's a legend.
There you go. And Jolster says there is a YouTube one with player interviews of that on the YouTube channel that TDM did. It was a better one. So go check. What is the link for that one? Is that Prime Circuit or is that PCC? What was the YouTube for that?
Championship Circuit on YouTube.
Prime Championship Circuit on YouTube. There you go. So make sure you check that out and give them a subscription over there. It's free, just like a follow on Kick or on Twitch. So go show them some love on that. But all right. That's great. What's next? That was the seeding round this last weekend, right? So what's next and when's next?
Yeah, so September 2nd is going to be the first half of the main event, and we're going to be able to show a lot more games this time. Normally, we do it in one day. Now we're spreading it out to 2 days because we got a bigger prize pool. We want to show more plays. We want to show more of the players themselves. So on September 2nd, which is just Saturday, that's going to be two quarterfinals from each side, and then the 2 of the semifinals. And then the third is going to be our third place match, because we're actually going to play a third place match now, because third place is going to get part of the prize pool, and then our grand finals as well. So it's going to be a really big weekend. It's going to be super fun. I'm excited. Like the talent that we've got all over, like the on-screen talent, as well as the players and teams. It's going to be freaking incredible. I'm excited. I'm excited.
All right. Well, I know for sure I won't be there on the 2nd because unlike Lance Cecil, I'm a huge college football fan. So, and my team plays that day. So he'll be, casting and doing whatever with you guys because his team's not good. So he's okay with that. I'll be watching college football. But all right. So I'm excited for that. So Choice, I know we're live and we're on the spot. So just give me a nod, yes or no. What we previously talked about before we went live, is that something you want to do and we're going to have happen?
Oh yeah, I would love to do that. That's awesome.
So I just want to, I want to get that confirmation before I made the announcement. I didn't want to be like, and then you're like, well, I would really well said okay with that. Well, you guys, if you guys haven't noticed, whenever there's a PCC event, we normally have somebody from PCC come on here and talk about it and keep going on, just like we have Choice here today. So in the future, we are going to have a little segment for PCC, and we're going to call it Choice Plays. And it's going to be Choice's Choice Plays that he picked from the event, and he's going to grab a couple things. So we'll have a little highlight reel, and we're going to go over that. So that's something you guys can definitely look forward to here on Predcast. Something I think it's going to be great to see a little more highlight reel. For those of you that aren't able to watch, like me on the weekends, you're able to at least get a little highlight, little Sports Center highlight reel. Watching Pinzo, die in the jungle because he was overextended or whatever, stuff like that would be really cool to see.
Probably.
True.
Not a chance.
I'll make that happen just for you, Bearded.
Sounds good. All right. So I'm excited for that, though. I think that's going to be great to have a little segment here. We'll tie that along with the little Efsixx knowledge bit segment we're going to be, doing, going on in the future and stuff like that. So I'm excited. Predcast is definitely growing, and it's going to be great for us. I do now want to go over, I gave time for the community to answer my question about Zarus, how they feel about him. So I want to go over some of those comments in chat. So Bunny and Butcher said his auto attacks feels kind of off. Again, I think that agrees with what Pinzo was saying earlier with the desync. King Burn says pretty meh, a lackluster. And then Denim Dave says Zarus is boring in my opinion. It's Empty says he needs quality of life improvements mostly. I think the R&B crosshair takes too much real estate on screen. Alt stacks not visible, and the animations you guys have already mentioned. So I want to talk about that. The alt stacks. I wish I could see the alt stacks. I want to know how much I've added to it. I want to, because I know, because you could in game, you could sit there and sit at base. Okay, I know I've added these 4 items that gives me this much power, and I've done this and it's give me this much power. All right, so and then you have to, all right, subtract all of that. All right, this is how much I've stacked. Because I do know you can't just obviously just say, hey, you got 2 stacks or whatever, because one of those stacks could be early, level 1 ultimate stacks, and level 2 ultimate stacks and level 3 ultimate stacks, right? You could have them differently, then those are different amount of power you're getting. But to just say, here's your power that you got from stack, I think it would be something that would be good to let them know, to let you know, hey, right now you have 50 power that you got from stacks added on top of your other power. I think that'd be a good way to show them what you got going on. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
For sure. That's probably one of the quality of life things we've talked about, right? Just having it kind of set stacks above his ult or in it somewhere around it. It doesn't have to be huge, doesn't have to be big, just somewhere we're okay, I could look down really quick and okay, I see that, that's where I'm at. But there's a lot of times where you ult somebody and they die right before your cage ends, maybe a half a second, you're I don't know if that counts.
Did I get it right? Yeah.
So just having that there would be a really nice quality of life fix.
And for those of you who don't know, you don't have to get the kill. It's not a last hit situation. The person just has to, the person you ulted or the hero you ulted just has to die while your cage is active for that stack to happen. So it counts as a takedown. So even if your jungler comes in and cleans it up, you get the kill dies, it's still a stack for you. You get the positive side of that. So you don't have to worry about somebody stealing or securing on you. Windu says not seeing stacks is weird. I agree. The pressing Q to stun instead of LMB, I dislike too, and I don't like how the R looks visually. Feels like a very low effort. MT, can you explain that if you're still here? What do you mean by that? It feels like very low effort. All right, I know what he means by the Q. I saw you had that conversation in our partner Discord there. I think you're on the same side of that, right, Pinzo? The Q
would like to be able to press left click to stun people with my Q. Yes.
Right. And right now you should be able to do it because right now you're not. If you press left click now, you don't do anything. There's no auto attack while you have the shield up. So there's not. It's not like that that key binding is already used for something else. So during that animation, you should be able to do that. So yeah, having to repress Q, I could see that. I could see that for sure. It would just make more sense, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I would like it just because I prefer. I mean, my ultimate's on my mouse because I don't like that long stretch to R. So I prefer it on my mouse. It's just easier there. So I have my ultimate on my mouse. So I would definitely appreciate that too. All right. King Burns also says he was very overhyped and undersold. I think that goes on top of what I'm saying when people just kind of dropping him off like, hey, they're not enjoying him. I feel like they could have brought him in a little more OP and or I gotta say overtuned. Let's bring him. Let's overtune him a little bit more to be a little more like oppressive in a sense. And then then the next balance patch you bring him down a little bit. Just kind of bring him back in line, just to add that excitement for the new hero. Because I think a lot of people are playing him again especially with what you guys were saying earlier, him having the skill issue that he has, or the skill floor that you have is kind of a high skill floor. I think having that and making it a little more a little stronger, the lower skill floor players could have enjoyed him longer. What are your thoughts on that?
I think a lot of people are putting their prior MOBA experience from different gods into the new hero. So for instance, like people that played Smite or League or any MOBA, like he is one of those characters from any of those games. And I think they're trying to compare them too much instead of enjoying the character for what it is in the game. What I mean by that is you're not looking at it from the outside in, you're looking at it just precisely from inside the game of, hey, how does this character feel into the game and how does his kit feel for the game right now? And I mean, I think it fits very well. I don't think they need to go overboard with it. I think they did a great job with it. To say that he's undersold is kind of a little bit of a drag. But yeah, the drop on players on him, I think is just more of a skill issue than it is like the player or the hero being bad.
Nice.
I completely disagree. I think comparing a character like that to another character in a MOBA is completely fair and should happen. And I don't know. I sort of agree. Like after he got delayed a month, my expectations went up, and I don't think they were quite met, to be completely honest.
Name another hero in Paragon that is nothing like another hero in another MOBA.
What do you mean? Sorry, would you say the question again?
So name another hero in the current predecessor list that was not or doesn't have any similarities to any one of the other MOBAs. So like League, Smite, Dota, HOTS.
That's my point. That's my point. They're all copies. I think that the Paragon heroes were super unoriginal when they came out, and I think Predecessor is like kind of unfortunately following that trend.
Okay.
How can you make an original hero that's not a copy? And like how many heroes does League have?
Time.
Smite does not do it all the time. They copy League of Legends all the time. Yeah.
not
okay. Can you
one hero?
3 abilities off one hero.
He has 3 Pantheon abilities.
Not exactly, no.
Very similar.
There's a lot of heroes that are similar in all MOBAs, if you really want to get technical. So like saying like, oh, this hero is similar to this one, I think is overstretching it. Like if it was 1 for 1, like they took the Pantheon, was like, here's Pantheon, and that was it. But it's not. So like that's where I feel like people need to have that grace and understand that at this point in our like lives in 2023, there's going to be maybe a 0.01% chance of actually creating a fully original hero.
I somewhat agree. I don't agree with is that it's a percent chance, because I think that there are people out there who could come up, especially with the technology that we have available in 2023 to code games. I think you could, like, I'm not going to say easily, but I think you could very realistically come up with like brand new heroes that are not pulling from League and Smite.
But we have time, right? That's only the second original hero. So like for an early access game, I'm fairly confident in what they can do based off of that. And seeing like, okay, maybe if it was like 200 heroes down the road and it's still all the same heroes, then I'll be like, okay, that's a problem, right? But like if it's only the second hero, they're kind of spreading their wings. They don't want to go overboard. They want to kind of keep it in line. I think it's a smart move not to kind of just dive off the deep end, in my honest opinion. But
I will say,
I look at it the other way, where it's EA, and I'd rather see them try something like wacky right now because it's EA. Like I want to see what they can do before we launch to like beta or full access or whatever, right? I want to see them flex their muscles a little bit on hero creation. That's where I'm at.
But if the hero that they flex their muscles on starts to take a lot of developing time because it's crap, and now people are like starting to judge them off of that one hero, you know, and they're like, well, here it is. It's it's Paragon all over again. Bye. I'm not playing it anymore because they released some idiot dumb champion that they have to like divert to some more resources to fix, or, you know, whatever. I mean, I guess that's one way to look at it, but
I agree.
I'm on both sides there.
I agree with you what you're saying there, Choice. And it's like what Smokey said last episode, is that they're not only are they building a game, but they're also building a company at the same time, right? And you don't want to do something that's like all of a sudden it's like, all right, let's put our eggs all in this one basket and we're going to try to flex on this hero and then have that hero flop. And then it's like, okay, well, that was our original hero. Like this guy's brand, like no, but you don't see him anywhere, and he flopped. What are we? Then everybody, the perception of Omeda at that time is going to be completely down, and not everybody, but a lot of people are going to leave. Like, nope, they can't even make an actual hero. We're out. And going back as well, I also want to say I do think they have improved in comparison to with Kira's release, because Kira's release, as Mangoose has said before, she is a 1-for-1 copy of Vala from HOTS. I think I could be wrong on the name. I don't play the game, so I don't know if that's her name, but it's something like that. Like you literally look at her abilities, and it's literally what Vala does. So it's like
closer. Than Giannis is ours.
Yeah. So and you are going to have like how many? I don't play League. How many heroes does League have?
Like 130.
Yeah, right. And then you have that stacked. Have that stacked on top of Dota. Have that stacked on top of Smite. For the chances to come out here and bring in a completely original hero, yeah, there is potential there with what you're saying, Pinzo. It can happen, but I think right now, when you're trying to build, because you're trying to build a company and a game, like let's bring in some things. And I agree with you. I think we should definitely have. I want you to grab this ability from this hero, grab this ability from this hero, literally just make a Frankenstein of heroes that are grabbed from everybody else, that you can't just look at it like, hey, that's a Pantheon recreation. You know, like, let's have it be something completely different. Like, okay, I see that's, you know, Hercules from Smite, but it's all, you know, his this ability of Hercules, he's got this ability from, I don't know, Timu or whatever his name from fucking League of Legends, and he's got this ability from whatever. Like, I would rather see that, a good Frankenstein. And I think this is a better job, and I think they're showing improvement towards that, because Kira, to me, was pretty much a 1-for-1. Zarus is not a 1-for-1, but he does have some things that are showing a couple different heroes. I think people were saying he's got something from Odin from Spite. Is it his ultimate or something? His ultimate? Okay.
They're not
old school Odin. Old school Odin, I would agree, is the same.
I mean, like, Odin ult doesn't do damage. He can leave the cage and it stays up. You can break it and leave.
But its whole entire premise is locking people in a cage.
I mean, like,
arena. Get it right.
Arena, Coliseum.
Coliseum.
It is a Coliseum. Okay, sure. Yeah, I mean, like, I would say it's borderline comparable to Odin Ultimate.
Okay.
No, that's true. That's true. Because they've done a lot of reworks.
They stole the passive from Odin. Odin gets power on kills in his ultimate, but
all right.
So he's starting to become that Frankenstein champ that Bearded's talking about. You know, he's got some Pantheon, some Odin, and there's another one from League that
it's
saw
J4,
people.
yeah, J4 ults.
Okay.
Is the like that one? That one's pretty much 1-for-1. I don't know if J4 stacks power off of it, but you pick a target, jump on them, make a cage.
And that's what I'm saying. So it is getting closer to that Frankenstein style. You know, a lot of people look at him, they think Pantheon right away, like with what you said, 3 abilities, Pinzo. You know,
and the lore.
And the lore. I don't know what the lore is. I know the lore. I know the lore of Zarus. I don't know the lore of Pantheon. So okay. So yeah, there you go. All right. I mean,
my point is that, like, I understand, like, there's cool things you can do, and it's something that Smite has done from League a lot, which is like, hey, take an ability from this character, make one new ability, and then a passive from this character, right? From like League characters, and you amalgamate them, and it comes out to a decent character, right?
Right.
But I just feel like, especially with Pred, when you have a game that should, like, again, based off the premise, centered around skill shots, 3 dimensions, you have verticality in it. I really think that the creative boundaries of Pred are just bigger than the creative boundaries of League and Smite. And I really think you could tap into it and make truly original characters.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. I think there is something
it's just not quite there yet, which I think is a bummer.
But I mean, we're also early access. Like, I think that's what me and Efsixx are saying. Like, at least I agree with you. I think, you know, after full release and after some time and even bringing on more of a team, you know, and we get like, I'm not saying that they're going to get there any like right now or in the next 2 years, but like we're getting up there, like, because right now if we're looking at PTO, right, they're pulling from Netmarble. They got a full team right behind them. Like, hey, what do you need? We got you. And like, okay, we'll make this work. And they can do that. Right now, Omeda only has Omeda. Like, this is what we got. We're all right. And they're bringing on people. They're hiring on different devs and stuff like that. And they got Joey in there helping out now and stuff like that. They got stuff going. So give it time and for the team to grow even more. Because again, like what Smokey said, they're growing. Not only they're making a game, but they're also making a company. And once that company grows, they're able to take advantages of that situation. I think after full release, we will see stuff like that. You're like, hey, we're 3D MOBA. We got 3rd dimension. We'll make a flying character. I don't know, something. We'll go into it. And that might not be where they go, but something like that will happen, I believe, down the line. But we need to build that up first, and we need to. A good house doesn't survive without a good foundation, and that's what we need here. We need a good foundation. We can't have a rocky start, and I think that's what they're doing with this slower start and going from that.
So like, you can go Efsixx. I have a side note, so
okay.
You can go first.
No, I just went in as like, I wasn't like necessarily saying you're wrong, as in like
you said it. You said you're wrong.
Oh yeah, probably, but that's not what I fully meant. But like, I want to see I do want to see them come out of nowhere and be like, look at this brand new hero with abilities as never seen before, right? But I'm on like understanding type of like, it's 70 people, it's brand new, still in early access. Like, give us quality, and they gave us quality with Zarus. Like, obviously, there's still like there's different opinions, but like some things we agree on like the community of like this needs to look better, that needs to look better. But it wasn't anything of like, oh, this hero is just like completely garbage. It's more like, oh, we need quality of life stuff. And I like hearing that. I'm like, okay, I'd rather have a quality of life disagreement in the community than, oh, this character just doesn't even feel great or doesn't even do anything that's fantastic, right?
Doesn't work properly, yeah.
Right. So the fact that they did that with an original hero, skin looked great. It wasn't like flashy. I've said it before. It's not like super flashy or anything. Nothing like you've seen over Prime, but it was definitely solid for what Pred needed. And the fact that they did that was what I was looking for. And now when it comes to the next original hero, I'm looking for them to pack on top of that. Now I want to see them go a little bit further and just keep that flow going throughout the entire process.
Yeah, right. I mean, again, I understand, and I do I do understand that it is, early access, and they have to make heroes that work in a time frame and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Like, I definitely understand that. I just, me personally, I would have liked to see them go a little bit bigger on the second one.
A little bit more fireworks.
I think as long as they keep getting bigger, going bigger with the heroes of their next OG hero, be a little bigger than what Zarus is. I think as long as they show that improvement, we'll definitely get into a good place once they're finally tapped in with all of the Paragon assets and say, all right, we have all of our heroes, which we're going to go over here shortly. And then now we're anything after this. I think we have 8 left or something like that. Anything after this is all OG heroes. And I think when we get to that point, that's where we should be like, okay, we just know the next hero is going to be fire, because that's just how they've been doing things. And that's going to be exciting.
Is that?
Oh, I don't know.
Is it 4 OG heroes and then an original?
3 and 1. 3 and 1.
3 and 1. So that's another 18 months or something like that before we're on only originals.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be well after full release, I would think. But I mean, I'm okay with that. I'm not. I mean, I look at this in the mindset of a Paragon having a setback, right? Paragon wasn't even full release, and they had all the heroes that they had, and they were releasing one every 3 weeks or whatever, right? So I'm okay with what we got going on, and I'm in no hurry per se to finish up the Paragon heroes. I do want my heroes in there, right? But if we slow the hero release down so we can make sure it's a good game, and then it's not just thrown in there. Like, I played that, and this is a huge shout out to anybody who's listening. There's a game, MUA, on Steam. Do not get it. That? Do not get it. Yeah, I bought it. It's got my girl Tara in it, and we'll talk about her in a second. But it's got my girl Tara in it. I was like, all right, it was like $10. I was like, all right, I bought it. It is actually, they consider it a full release game, and they don't have shit in the game. They're like, their skins says, what did it say? It says button something. Button switch or something like that. And it literally said button text. It says button text. And it's like, so they didn't even develop over that. Like, there's no, it literally is, it is almost a definition of a cash grab. So I refunded right away. Yeah. You couldn't even get into a second. You got into an instant match right away, and then there was no hero selection screen. It was trash. It was straight trash. I played it. I didn't like it. I tried it on stream. So anybody who was looking at it, I saw somebody post about it in the FTM Discord. I instantly shut them down and said, hey, don't get it. It is bad. So anybody who was looking, because I know there's a lot of Parazombie fans out there who want to play a Parazombie game, don't waste your money on it. That is a little definition of a cash grab. Very bad. If it was early access, I would have kept playing it, because early access, I'll support all these Parazombies. I'm okay with it. But it was considered full release, and I'm like, no, you ain't keeping my money. Get out of here. So pretty bad. One last one. Denim Dave also says Zarus has everything in his kit except lifesteal, which doesn't make sense. And every ability is recycled from another champ minus his R&B. He is a cool champ and fun to play. The champ himself is boring. So that's kind of what the overall community so far has said. And for those of you who are watching on YouTube, go ahead and comment below what you guys' thoughts on Zarus are, and what we got going on. And me and Windu and anybody else who wants to chime in on those conversations on the Windu on the YouTube version, we'll comment on there and see what we go. I do know that the devs do read those comments as well, so go ahead and comment. Let them know what your thoughts are. We can go from there. But so we're talking about heroes and new heroes. Clark says smite sucks. Who cares? Pinzo's gonna beat you up, Clorox. Don't be talking bad about his smite. All right. I heard they got OG heroes cooking at all times. Ace said it. Yes. Yeah, I'm excited to see what they got going on. All right. So we do have heroes being released. And Choice, you said you got something cooking here with some spicy content coming up here with these heroes that we have left. I don't know if I can show this on screen.
Iggy better be last. I swear. Iggy better be the last.
So here's the heroes we have left. So we got Aurora, we got Iggy Scorch, we got Kwang, we got Sereth, we got Brim.exe, we got Yin, we got Wraith, we got Wukong, which Smokey said that he's not going to be in the game, so I guess we could scratch him out of here. We got Zinx, we got Boris, and we got Terra. All right. So, Choice, you said you got some spicy cooking going on here. Let me hear what you got. What are the order that you want these 11 heroes? My bad. I have not 8. 11 heroes. What are the order you want these 11 heroes to come in?
Choice.
All right.
Before you start, if Wukong is last, we're gonna lose our friendship. All right.
If he's last?
If he's last.
Okay, thank God. He's only second to last. Okay. Okay, so I cooked this up like the moment Bearded was like, hey, we're going to be ranking the heroes that are left from Paragon in the order that we want to see them. I was like, I already know exactly what I want to do. And the first one that I want to see next is kind of spicy. Okay.
All right.
So it's been, let me preface this. It's been, I think, 5 heroes since we got FaZe, who is a like pure enchanter support, right? It's been 5 heroes. The first hero I want to see next up from Paragon is Zinx. But I want to switch her up a little bit.
Okay.
Not be that weird, like, okay, so here's the thing. I'm pretty sure they released her when they were doing the 2v1 off lane. So she's like a weird amalgamation of a ranged tank. So when they released her, she was just weird. And she was super overpowered, and then they nerfed her into the ground, and then they just let her die forever until the game died. I want to see them change her into an enchanter support, and I have an idea for what her kit would look like. Let me just throw it out there really quick.
All right.
And see what you guys think.
Hit us with it.
So her first ability was Kitty Claws, whatever. Back in Paragon, it just like empowered her basic attacks to do like damage over time. I think if we switch it up to steal mana from whoever it's proccing on and give it to Zinx, that'd be really fun because it's like a kind of a debuff, especially if you're like focusing on the support, you're chunking their mana down a little bit. And then what that would do is that would buff the bad medicine, which was that weird like carpet thing she threw out. So you throw that out, it empowers that to do more damage, a bigger slow or something like that. Cause I want to change it to be like kind of a slow field. Whoever's in it, they'll be slowed. So now you've got a little bit of synergy between those two abilities. And then the next one is Ricochet stun. So keep that basically the same. So cause it was a skill shot that if you hit it, it bounced around, stunned a bunch of stuff. She'd be a true controller enchanter support and actually like control like big team fights and everything. I think that'd be super fun. I have no idea what to do with her ult because her ult before had like a passive, and like if you hit it, then all of a sudden she's just like an unkillable weird thing that's just running around shooting people. But that's kind of what I want to do. Like turn her into an enchanter support, make her a pure support, and do some fun stuff with her abilities that are already there and available to you. Okay, so that's my first one. What do you guys think?
I mean, well, first off, I like the fact that you want to make her a support because if you look at the remaining characters, there really isn't a support there. So, or at least how they were played in Paragon when they came out. So, that would be good because we don't really. I mean, what we have left now in the game, like almost all the supports are in the game besides any OG hero. Which again, I think that is probably going to be one of the next OG heroes is a support because they don't have any supports that are new. So that'd be interesting as well. So yeah, Efsixx, Pinzo, what do you think about Choice's cooking there with Zinx?
Efsixx, you're muted.
Oh, goodness gracious. I like it, but It's definitely number 2 for me. Number 3. Be my number 3.
Okay.
I have no idea what she did in Paragon, so like
play Paragon,
me, I guess.
She was this weird, like Choi says, she was like a tank. It was weird. You look at her, you think nothing about tank. And I know that she did like her damage was based off her mana or something like that. It was weird. Yeah, it was weird. It was definitely a different situation. But okay. All right.
Okay,
that's your number 1.
Hero. Enchanter support Zinx.
Yep.
And right after that, Kwang.
Okay.
I want to get Kwang in here pretty fast. Make him a jungler. I think he'd be incredible as a jungler. Super fun. I'm seeing no's from Pinzo. What is that? I
just think people dick ride Kwang. Why? What is a character that makes like 70% of the community say that they want Kwang next? I'm just curious. I don't think he's like he's fine. It's fine, I guess. But like I don't know. There's nothing about that character where I'm like, I need him now. And like apparently like 70% of the community needs him to be the next hero.
I think my favorite part of him is when you throw your sword, you could buy, then you ult and you're back in lane, right where your sword is.
Right.
So
it kind of gives you a gate scroll in a sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's, fast engagements, if you really want to waste your ult on something like that. And his character model is super fun. And just the idea of being almost a more centered around magical damage as like a melee hero. It's kind of like another one of those melee hero, assassin, magical, whatever, kind of like Shimbi, but I think better in terms of like a gameplay loop. But that's obviously my personal opinion. I always sucked at Shimbi, so that's my fault.
Nice.
I was just curious because like I see a lot of people who really want Kwang in the game, and I don't know. I was just curious why
he won the vote, didn't he? Or was it? I guess phase 1. He was second, right? He was second.
Yeah.
So that's what I meant. Like, and that's what people were confused that he
different from the other melee heroes in the game right now in Predecessor. Yeah. Because it's the magical damage. You're really focused on like AoEs and being up close in the fight, and you do a lot of team fight damage. If you're in the middle of a team fight as a Kwang, you're doing an insane amount of damage, especially with his ultimate. Plus the root from the sword throw is like a really fun skill shot, because I mean, like in Paragon, the indicator was super small. Like you have a very tiny indicator for like rooting somebody and then doing the ultimate, and it just feels really nice. It feels really good.
I can see that. Yeah, it's kind of like landing a good rampage rock. You can a little like if you throw it like, all right, let's see if we get this. And you get that root with the sword. It's a good feeling for sure.
Yeah. So that's number 2 for me.
All right.
Number 3 would be Wraith. Doing getting a little spicy with that one.
How are you making Wraith? Is he going to be an ADC? Is he going to be a mid? Is he going to be support? What's Wraith going to be for you?
I kind of viewed him as like a physical damage mid almost.
Okay.
Maybe. Just to switch it up.
And that's kind of what he played in Paragon. So
yeah. So switch it up. From our current like mid roster. Our current mid roster, Morgesh, Gideon, Howitzer, they all kind of, besides Morgesh, kind of play the same. Pinzo's favorite mid laner ever, Morgesh.
Don't start with me, Choice.
I watched the video. I watched it. Doing ridiculous damage at the end of that game.
It's just that hero's not good. But continue anyway. Continue. She's already in the game. Continue.
Yeah. Already in the game. So Wraith, just to switch up like the mid lane roster a little bit, make it a little more fun. I don't know what they can do with the ult. I don't know if they keep it like you turn everyone invisible around you, like all of your allies. That's kind of weird. And I know that they're very against invisibility in this game, besides Kalari, at least at like on a grand scale, because they took out the invisibility bug in the mid lane. Thank God. That was like one of my least favorite buffs river buffs.
So cringe.
It was pretty rough, especially playing a jungler, and then you just, your rampage, you get the invisibility buff, and then you just hit someone with rock, and a jump scare. I don't know. I didn't really like it. But then right after Wraith, let's go Terra. Bring my girl Terra.
Let's go. There we go.
Like anti-CC, that's one of the biggest things that we kind of need in this game right now is just anti-CC because there's a ton of it in there, especially if we bring Zinx into the game in the way that I wanted to bring her in. You know, keep the ricochets done. We really want that anti-CC. Bring that beefy girl here, baby. I want to give her a hug.
She's so thick.
Just, I want to give her a hug. You know, I feel like she gives the best hugs in the entire world. Anyways, right after that, let's go Grim. I want Grim in here. Shake up the ADC lane a little bit. You know, he's got that goofy kit where you can like launch that ball and like push someone, you know, down the lane.
Displacements,
that's really fun, especially if you are good with it and you know how to use it and you can actually like push them back towards you so you can finish them off. Super fun. I'm sure they could keep the ultimate that he has where he like locks on and like hits somebody, but I'm not 100% on that one. Not 100% on that one.
There's already lock-ons.
We love lock-on here, guys.
What is that? Isn't that GTFO? Is that what it is? You know, is that the name of the ultimate? Was GTFO?
Yeah.
So
I mean, we love lock-ons here, especially Pinzo.
I think certain all right. I understand what Pinzo. I understand Pinzo loves lock-ons. But in the light of that situation, I get the argument with an OG hero. But I want to change up certain kits like a Zinx, right? Because Zinx just didn't feel good in Paragon, in my opinion, right? She just felt off. And I agree with you with the 2v1 lane. It kind of was almost like she was forced into that. So like making hero changes or kit changes like that, I'm okay with certain things like that. But I also want to keep to the originality of Paragon. Because that's the main reason we're all here right now most of us are here right now is Paragon because we love Paragon and we want to play Paragon and we also want to continue with that. So like and we also want to get new people to come in and enjoy this. So I think keeping GTFO and having a lock on, like, yeah, he has a lock on. I mean, it is what it is. I understand people aren't too big on all of them, but not everybody's going to have a lock on. So I think it's okay.
There was some outplayability with that.
Yeah,
lock on ability because you can have somebody
blockable, right?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, your support could block it, or somebody else could jump in and block it. Yeah,
I'm much more okay with that. Like if it's body blockable, if there's some counterplay, then I'll lock on. Sure, whatever, go for it.
I actually posted a very long idea to change Moragesh's R&B, so we'll see if they even like look at that. But it was a very long idea for that to change it into a skill shot. But that's aside from the point. Let's keep going. Right after Grim, we've got Aurora. My girl Aurora, bring that frosty baby.
Booty cheek Aurora.
Because she's going to freeze everything. But I mean, I wanted to release Terra before her because obviously that anti-CC would be absolutely huge against her. She's nasty with that spreadable stun ult. And then everyone's favorite hero, especially Efsixx's favorite hero, Iggy. Yeah. Because now, you know, 7th OG Paragon hero. Okay. Come on, brother. Stick with me here. 7th one being released from the OG Paragon with a couple of obviously like maybe 1 or 2 OG predecessor heroes released before then. So now they've got some real like kit building under their belt. They know like where they want to go with how they're building their new kits. And they could do something pretty awesome with Iggy, bring him into the game. I don't know what the heck they're going to do or what they have planned for Iggy, but I'm excited to see what they do, especially with like more heroes under their belt once they start getting a little more spicy with some of their OG heroes and getting those kits a little bit more original to the predecessor 3D space, MOBA space. So after Iggy, Seraph, just because she's cool, Yin, Wukong, Boris. Who knows what they're going to do with Boris? I don't freaking know. Who knows?
Fault Boris 1-to-1 in predecessor.
No, no way, no shot.
Somebody's memeing. Wait, which one do we? I mean, he changed drastically in that. Like he was like a one shot kill, like bear. You know, he came out OP as a motherfucker unless you ask Armadillo, and Armadillo would tell you he's not not OP at all. But he was OP like a motherfucker at fault, and then he got nerfed down quite a bit to where he's actually playable and not completely unbearable, pun intended. So what do you mean one? You want the original like fault? The one that's not fun? Is that what you're memeing with, or are you actually saying bring him in? Okay,
any of them. That's the only. I don't even know if Boris was in Paragon. Like some people,
he wasn't.
Like,
he was
the last one, or like he was on the cutting room floor or something.
He was
so, like I don't even really know what he is, to be honest.
He was created already, but he wasn't released as a hero. He was already announced. They announced him, and like the week after announcing him, they shut down. They said they announced they were shutting down. So they never brought him out. So they announced the next hero because they do doing every 3 weeks, and it was along the time frame. Like, hey, we're bringing on here's our new hero, and you're going to get on the next patch. And then the week after that, they announced, hey, we're shutting down. So then they didn't even bring that next patch. So that's where he was at. So he was already created and ready to go. That's why all these Parazombies have his kit and his whatever model to use. The rest of them were just all concepts. So, all right. I like how you got Terra up there a little earlier than that, and I like how Wukong's there towards the back. All right, I could agree with that choice. I like your switch up with Zinx as well. All right, who wants to go next?
Efsixx. Okay, second to last.
I see it. We're good.
All right, who wants to go next? Efsixx, Pinzo?
I'll definitely go. I'll just sit here.
All right.
So we need Wukong first. Wukong needs to be dropped in the game to stop all these crybabies. And the reason why I say this, hear me out, let me cook. I'll sit up in my chair for a little bit here. So everybody complains this man is never balanced in any game, right? What is the biggest feat for Omeda to do than to balance the unbalanceable hero Wukong? So let's say they come in, put this man out. He's the most balanced we've seen, like Zarus. And we're like, you know what? Wukong ain't that bad. He's not that bad of a guy. He's a jokester. He's a prankster, but he's not that bad. So I think Wukong coming in is going to be a great test to see how well they can balance the most broken of heroes. So he's going to be number one.
I will say,
I think that's the reason not to bring him in. I think that's the reason not to bring him in, because they need to keep they just got Joey in there. Let Joey cook, give him time with Wukong, and let him get him figured out first before we introduce him in the game this next hero.
Joey figured out Wukong before he was on Omeda's team. What do you mean?
In Demande, I trust. Okay, that's all I say.
Exactly. We just got to trust them. Let them cook. Let's let them cook. Second, we need Terra in there because I love me some Terra. She just needs to be in there. One, Choice already said it. There's too much damn CC in this game. So Terra coming in to shut all that down would be a great counter. And then we're going to need some Quang because Quang is just sick. He has a sword. That's all you need. It's not as good as the Poly Extendo stick as Wukong has, but it's good enough. And then I want to see what they can do with the eyes with Aurora. I feel like if they can make it like fit into the game, put a little bit more verticality in the game, I think that'll be pretty cool to see. So I kind of want her in there like a little bit after they go to full release. And then the rest I don't care about. So all of them I don't like. Iggy and Scorch, though, they just need to throw that character away. I mean, it doesn't even need to be in the game. Like, look at that thing.
Okay.
Like, it's like one of those children you got from like a Goblin movie or something. It's like a gremlin sitting on like a lizard. No, we don't need that in the game. Get it out, throw it away, reboot it, start again, and just call it good. That's all I'm saying.
He's cooking.
That's all I'm saying.
Hey, I'm gonna show my age here for a minute though. With Iggy, like. A perfect with Smokey saying last week he wanted to do some collabs with and get some skins in here. I think with Iggy and Scorch, if you get Kevin Bacon riding a Tremor, I think that would be a perfect Iggy and Scorch skin.
You know, it'd be a better skin.
Not having him in the game.
A base Sun Wukong skin. It'll still be better than that skin because Iggy and Scorch needs to go. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's you. So you're done. The rest of you said you don't care. It doesn't matter what happens.
I don't care anything about them, to be honest.
All right. Pinzo, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm kind of on Efsixx's side, to be honest. Like, I'm just looking at these heroes, and like, I like Sereth. Yin, I think, is cool. Wukong is cool. Aurora's cool. But then, like, I don't even recognize half of these. Like, I don't really care.
All right.
Like,
all right.
What I want to see most out of a lot of these OG heroes is like willingness from the devs to change their kits. Like, as you guys are already seeing, like, just from us going through these next like 11 heroes that aren't in the game, right? There's a lot of stuff that people don't like about a lot of these heroes. And like, now is the time that they can actually straight up fix that, right? Like, you could take problematic abilities out of the game if you wanted to. Like, I know you're gonna get people who boo-hoo bitch cry about their character not having XYZ ability anymore. But like, if it's a problematic ability, guess what you can do? You can change it because you're Omeda and now it's your game. You know, me particularly, I don't really care what hero comes next. I just want to see them like have a willingness to change problematic abilities. Some of the characters like Quang, like, I don't know, does he really have problematic abilities? Like, not really, you know, like he didn't have anything that caused like controversy in Paragon or whatever, you know? So, but like Wukong, Iggy, right? Wraith even, right? You have these heroes that had these like controversial abilities, and like, now's your time where you can fix them and put them in the game properly, or scrap them and make new abilities. And like, yeah, they like, now they have that opportunity.
Yeah. So one, me and Pinzo agreed. So that's already off to a good start. Two, yeah, like it's in all honesty, it's really not even about my favorite character. It's all about like seeing how they're able to solve these problems that was in Paragon. And if they could solve the biggest problematic, like even if like in all seriousness, like if they're able to like solve Iggy and Scorch and like put a good version of Iggy and Scorch inside the game, that's what I want to see from Omeda. I don't care about who's next. I don't care about anything of that sort, right? I just want to see how they're going to be able to adapt to what was a problem in Paragon and change it for better in Predecessor.
All right.
Agree. Strongly.
All right.
Agree.
So then, I guess let me go over my list, because I have a little bit more in-depth thoughts besides I don't care about these guys. So I'll go a little further into this. I agree with what you guys are saying with Terra. I think Terra is my first. I think Terra needs to be the first one, because exactly what Choice said. CC in this game is insane, and there really isn't much that we, or an anti-CC chain besides a couple cleanses that you have to get, and then you're like. So I would like to have her that have that ability. You could pick a crest that's not a cleanse all the time. So bringing her in, plus that's my girl. She's my girl back in Paragon. I'm all about her, and I agree with Efsixx. She's got multiple C's with that thickness. I'm all about it. So after her, I want to see Yin. Just because I want to see a melee ADC in the game, and actually succeed with it. Because I know Paragon tried that with Greystone. Greystone became an offlaner. They tried it with Sarah. She pretty much became an offlaner. You don't have these actual ranged ADCs in these games, but Wukong became an offlaner, right? Yin was like the only one that actually kind of still sat in the role of ADC. So I want to see her come in and have a melee ADC and see how well they do with that. Then I want to bring in Boris. Just because because a lot of people, if you didn't play Overprime before it was Paragon the Overprime, back in the day when it was actually Overthrow, whatever they had Boris, if you didn't play that, and if you didn't play Fault, a lot of these Parazombies haven't even gotten to play. This is an original hero to them. So bringing Boris in would be a good switch up for them as well. And then Aurora. I want to bring Aurora in, and that should be around December-ish time. Bring in the winter, bring in a winter map would be cool, and then introduce Aurora. But the Aurora is a little ice wall that she can make and help teammates get places. Like there's certain teammates, like you can to get into either Prime Pit or Raptor Pit, you can go up the stairs that one time that you could jump and then use your dash ability. Some heroes don't have that dash ability. To Aurora going from there and making that ice wall across, everybody can get into the prime pit and attack from that. I think little plays like that, and there's obviously other places around the map that she can do stuff like that, would be really cool to see. So bringing her in would be great. And then from there, I want to see what they're going to do with Wraith. And I think something I've seen with Wraith, I've seen people talk about with Wraith, is switching his ultimate, which was the invis, right? Or was that his whatever? Yeah, his ultimate, and then the what was the other one? Basically, switching two of his abilities, making the one the ultimate, the other one is invis. I can't remember his abilities right off the top of the head, but I think switching that would have been the best thing to do with him.
Ward. He has a free ward.
Yeah, the ward is fine.
And then he has like the Gauss cannon, basically. So just like a little
snipe
rail gun.
Yeah, he's got the snipe. There was one more.
The last one.
It's rewind.
Oh yeah.
Make the rewind his ultimate. I think that would be the better thing to do there. And probably even just get rid of the team invis, because as an ADC, unless you're gonna make him support, I think that's going invis, but limiting it to only certain people, not the full team invis, because I think that was pretty crazy, a little overpowered there. But from there, bringing Wraith in, let's go Seraph, because we need an offlaner. Because I'm like Pinzo. I'm not, or maybe he's not like that. He just doesn't understand where everybody else is at. I'm not that sold on Kwang. Like he's good. He's he does have a sword, like Efsixx says, but I would rather have Seraph. I think her angel demon thing that she's got, like little thematic that she's got going on with her, I think it's really cool, and getting that in the game would be great. And then Iggy. Then from there, let's bring in Zinx, Grim, Kwang, and then that's it. I'm done with that. I don't need any more. Nobody else needs to be in the game.
Sorry, you didn't finish your list, by the way. I didn't.
No, I got all 10. I got all 10. We're good. Yeah, we're good. I got all 10. Yeah.
Okay.
I got all 10.
Chad, what? Is there 10 left, or is there 11 left?
There's 11.
There's 10. Smokey said he's not going in the game.
All right. You know what? First of all, I messaged Smokey, okay?
I messaged Smokey.
We got to an agreement. Wukong's coming into the game, okay? There's no way you can have Pred without Wukong. There's no way.
Beardo was cooking until that last part. We need that rewind as a basic ability. I don't know. That Wraith is a kid, like he's the utility on him is just different. I don't. It depends on how you want him to be played. That's a tough situation, I guess. That's my biggest thing with him. It's a tough with him.
Personally, with the lack of CC immunity in this game, I do not like the idea of being able to forcefully rewind an enemy, even if it's a skill shot. I don't care. I really don't like that idea.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough one.
If there was more CC immunity and you could cleanse it, then it'd be different. But with the lack of CC immunity and stuff like that, I just strongly don't think you should be able to forcefully rewind an enemy.
It was pretty cringe in Paragon too.
I don't know if I ever played against Wraith in Paragon. Don't know. I don't even know if he was in the game when I played.
He have to he's played a lot mid
on there.
Have you played Overprime Efsixx?
Yes.
In Overprime, it's delayed. You hit them, and then like 2 seconds later, they rewind.
Yeah, but you see where they're gonna be. Like you get all right.
It's basically time flex.
Yeah, basically time flex. You could potentially cleanse it if it was delayed. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's possible. I'm okay with that. I mean, because right now, with the Richter hook, man, a Richter pull, you land that pull, it's like, all right, sweet, and then it does. You don't pull them, and it's like it fucking cleansed it. Like then it's like, all right, well, good play on you. Like that's good. Hey, you played that well. So I think
if it's an ult, I think I'm okay with it. Not a regular base ability.
And I think that's what I was saying. Switch it, make it the ultimate, and then have the invisibility be the basic ability.
I would almost rather have him with like Chronos ultimate. Like let him do it himself. Chronos ultimate rewinds him 8 seconds. Refills it all of his basic abilities come back up, refills his HP back to where it was 8 seconds ago. Like I'd almost rather see that if you want to give him some
you went
ability.
You went Paladins on me. I'm sitting there like who's this?
That's my
No, but isn't there a Paladins character that does that?
Atlas doesn't rewind. Atlas can rewind people, but not with his ult.
No, okay,
Atlas
gotcha.
Rewind. But anyway, yeah. But like I would rather like I'd rather see him be able to rewind himself. I just really don't like the idea of forcefully rewinding someone.
Isn't the rewind like a 20-second cooldown? I mean, obviously, when we're talking about all the cooldowns, if we switch the abilities, all the cooldowns will be adjusted. Will be balanced accordingly.
Yeah. If you make it the ultimate, you're gonna change the cooldown.
Yeah. Similar to what they did with Decker when switching Decker's cage. In Paragon, it used to be the cage was the ultimate. And now the cage is a basic ability, and so now that cage is on a faster cooldown. It's not the 120-second cooldown that it was in Paragon, which I pulled numbers out my ass. I don't know what it was in Paragon. So
pretty close.
So
Yeah, probably right.
But yeah, no, I Wraith is the one hero that I think you could do some. You could be a Decker and pull a Decker and like, hey, let's make adjustments, right? I think I agree with what Pinzo was saying. You have these problematic heroes because of some of their abilities or whatever, or some of their kits, how they play. The biggest thing with Iggy is his turrets, right? A turret hero in a lot of games is just so toxic, and it makes it, and it's a troll pick and toxic. So like, how do you make that fun for other people to go against, right? It's fun for the person that is Iggy. It's not fun for everybody else. So how do you make that? How do you balance that out? How do you balance the fun in that situation? Like, that's the tough part about that. So I think, you have these heroes that, like with Wraith having the rewind and the invisibility, and it's like he's a completely utility ADC. Again, what is he? I think he was actually supposed to be a medkit. If you're still in chat, let me know, because I know you really studied that.
Mid laner.
He was supposed to be mid laner, but people played him like more like ADC style, I guess. I don't know, like depending on how you want him to play, I guess is it really what you want him to be, what Omeda wants him to be. I guess you have to kind of balance to that and adjust the kit accordingly to that. I did like the utility in his kit, but I just felt like he was lackluster in Paragon.
I think another thing to just keep in mind is that a lot of these heroes were like, okay, this is going to sound kind of dumb when it comes out, but I'll finish the sentence, I promise. A lot of these heroes were made for a different game. Like, obviously, the different game is Paragon, but like Paragon versus Predecessor in the way that the games are played are like nearly uncomparable, right? Like, they're both MOBAs, but like the games themselves function so much differently that some of those old abilities, I just feel like they just don't quite work in like the Predecessor landscape.
I can
like,
see that.
Especially a lot of like the old heroes, right? The older Paragon heroes that were made on Legacy have abilities that were made to work in a very, very slow environment, and they just don't quite fit in like Iggy, right? His turrets were made to work in a very slow paced environment, whereas Pred is not slow. I don't know if I'd call it super fast, but it's not a slow paced environment.
No,
right?
It's not PTO fast for sure, but yeah. I don't know. It's tough. I think my biggest issue is how hard those turrets hit with Iggy when I was playing with Paragon. Like, if you got anywhere within that, like, you pretty much got melted by his turrets, and that's a basic ability. And then if he ulted, it was guaranteed you were destroyed with his turrets, right? I think it's just like because I think it needs to be balanced like a gadget ult, right? People, they realize once they realize they're in gadget ult, it's in their head. They're like, oh, we got to get out of here. Like, I'm gonna die. And you could actually sit in gadget ult for a decent amount of time. Obviously, if you have no magic armor, you're gonna die. But I mean, if you have magic armor, you could actually fight. You could still do a team fight in a gadget ult and not just get destroyed. You're gonna lose health, obviously, but it's not gonna like, oh my gosh. But with the Iggy turret, I remember that being like, you got melted, and it's like the lane presence he had was just insane. Like, you can't win a lane against an Iggy because of his turrets and how he's able to bring him down. So it was very, very unfun to go against an Iggy. So yeah, some of these heroes, again, I think I agree with what you're saying. If we can adjust some of their problematics, adjust that out of them, I think it'd be a lot better.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Horatio, Pred already has more answers to Paragon's problems, though. I have no attachment to Wraith Rewind. I just don't think it'd be busted. Iggy, though, fuck all the way off. All right,
Yes,
Horatio. All right, Horatio.
He gets it.
I mean that's good to hear, because obviously, for those you know, Horatio is testing lead, IT lead there. So he obviously knows a lot what's going on the inside. So the fact that he can sit there and say that Pred has more answers to Paragon's problems is good to hear. And I'm excited to see what we have with these last 10 heroes. With these last 10 heroes, see what we got going on with that. That'd be great to see.
Man, you forgot how to count again, man.
I didn't forget how to count at all. Believe me, I know how to count better than you do. I'm a Michigan fan, not an Ohio State fan.
Jeez.
All right. We are coming up on our 2-hour mark. Is there anything else you guys have left to say or want to say, go over that we haven't already went over besides before we do our closing marks?
Stop going AFK in your matches.
Yeah, please.
That's a big one. It is a big one.
Yeah, that is just literally all I ask.
Choice, besides helping other people spell. I mean, is there anything else that you want to say?
I started thinking of a joke for that, but I just can't. Watch PCC.
Yes.
September 2nd and 3rd. Watch PCC.
Is there a time that's starting? September 2nd. What time?
Eastern.
11 a.m. Eastern. Got you.
Go live. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Also, Lance has been incessant in the chat. Pinzo, do you prefer cats or dogs?
Oh,
I'm a cat guy. Big cat guy. Love cats.
You were the.
Cat's got a cat guy. Let's go.
Big cat guy.
Should we just switch the words around? Just Predcats?
Yeah, Predcats.
Yeah.
The words, I mean, letters, switch the letters on. Yeah, Predcats now, guys. Welcome to the Predcats.
About Ohio.
You are the first.
What's with that?
Yeah, right. So, all right. That's the first cat guy we've had on here. Our cat person that we've had on. Oh, nope. Sorry. We did have a little sassafras. Definitely a cat person there. So, all right. So, yeah. So 11 a.m. September 2nd. That's an hour of watching before the Michigan game. And I think Iowa doesn't even have a football team this year, so they're probably not even playing. So they got nothing going on. So that's why Lance is able to help out with that. All right. So, cat guy, get me out. All right, Windu. All right. Other than that, I think let's do our outros. Let's do it the same way that we came in here. So we got Choice, we got Pinzo, we got Efsixx, we got myself. Windu, if you got anything you want to say, I'll read it off. If you want to put it in chat, while the rest of these guys are going over that, and we'll head out.
Yeah. So again, I'm ChoicePlays production lead for Prime Championship Circuit. We've got our main event September 2nd and 3rd. It's going to be a banger. Tons of incredible teams on there, so please join up, watch us on we'll be on Twitch, so follow us there at Prime Championship Circuit. You can follow me on Twitch. I stream on Twitch every once in a while. It's a goofy, silly, haha, hee hee time. It's pretty fun. And then other than that, I post on Twitter sometimes, so you can follow me there. It's ChoicePlays, but literally I'm ChoicePlays on everything, so there it is. Thanks for having me on Predcast, by the way. I appreciate it.
Thanks for.
Of course. Yeah, I'm Pinzo. I don't know if you know me, you know me. I don't know. I stream every day on Twitch, upload every day on YouTube. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of that guy, I guess.
That guy. Oh my god. That likes cats. He likes cats.
All right, Efsixx
guy. Yeah, I'm the cat guy, I guess, on the Predcast.
He's that cat guy.
They don't call it the Pred dog, do they? Yeah, I didn't think so.
Yeah. All right, Efsixx, before you go, we can't let Empty be sad. So, Choice, go ahead and talk, and then give him what he wants.
Yeah. So, Empty, this one's for you, baby. Yeah.
There we go. All right.
Efsixx, care something real quick.
Yeah, just got impregnated. Oh man. Yeah, I'm trying to catch all that. Yeah, it's your boy Efsixx. I stream over on Twitch and Kick, upload YouTube videos about like hero overviews, more of the nerdy stuff. And I'm a caster over on PCC. So if you guys want to come over on September 2nd and 3rd, I'll be casting over there. I sound very different than I do now. But yeah, it's going to be a great time. And if you guys want to see some high level competitive play, not from Pinzo because he likes cats, but yeah, come on over. PCC Prime Championship Circuit on Twitch. It'll be a great time.
All right. So you said you sound different than you do now. So you're saying on the PCC when you cast, you actually sound intelligent?
Yes. Yeah. Precisely.
All right. All right. All right. All right. As for myself, you got me streaming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Wednesdays is the normal Predcast time, guys. We made adjustments here just because some of us have some stuff going on. We had to make, some flexibility changes here. But it's going to be normally Wednesdays, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we'll get these out going to you on YouTube. We try to get them up the next day after around noon Eastern Standard Time. So pay attention for that. For those of you that are watching on YouTube, don't forget to leave a GG below, a comment. Don't forget to like it as well. Help us with the algorithm. Every little bit helps, and we are seeing you guys. Our numbers are going up, and we appreciate them. The viewing numbers, we have viewing numbers on Kick are going up. We got viewing numbers, on YouTube going up. So we definitely appreciate the support coming from you guys as a community. And then we're still striving to be the #1 show for Predecessor. We're going to keep pushing for that. We're making changes. They take Joey from us, so we'll bring Pinzo on. When they take Pinzo from us, we'll bring somebody else on. We'll just keep doing what we got to do. So
I don't know what I got to do to get picked up, bro. I've been trying.
Well, that's why you came on. That's why you saw Joey got taken. All right, I'm going to be on the Predcast. That's what I'll do. We'll go be on the Predcast. We'll get swiped. I do have one thing to say for Carrie. Carrie, do not do a voiceover for the game. We enjoy you too much as a community manager. The last 2 community managers that did voiceovers for the game, they abruptly leave. We got Taiga, he's the announcer in the game, and he's no longer with us. And then we got Nibori, does the voiceover for Zarus. He's no longer with us. So, Carrie, you're not allowed to do a voiceover. All right, I said it. I'll let everybody else know. Do not do it because we want to keep you. All right, we like you too much, so don't leave. No voiceovers for you. Okay. But on that note, we appreciate you all, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.